What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Matt. On this channel, I review brand new cars. Today, I'm at Jack Hanania Chevrolet, checking out this brand new 2026 Chevy Trax. This is one of the top-of-the-line trims. They have the RS or Active, depending on which style you prefer. And today, I'm going to take you on a complete tour of it. We're going to check it out from the exterior, push some buttons, turn some knobs, and of course, we're going to take it for a test drive at the end of this video. If that's something you enjoy watching, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more automotive content. Give me a like, and now let's get back to this. The new Trax's been around for a while. I got to tell you, I see them on the road all the time. As a matter of fact, I drive one as a company vehicle. I've done the review. Mine is the 2RS, which is an equivalent as far as where it sits on top of the lineup, except it has a little bit different flair of it. So I'm really familiar with this vehicle and know how it drives. And today I'm going to share all of that with you. But before we get to the numbers, let's take a look at the design. And the Active trim definitely differs from the RS. It has a different flare. Now, this particular one is dressed in the cacti green color. We have the LED daytime running lamps and the headlights. Still in incandescent turn signals. We have a lot of shiny black mixed with this smoked chrome on this Active trim. Still a black Chevy bow tie and overall a great looking front end of this vehicle. Let's pop the hood and let's check out what powers it up. And that is a 1.2-liter EcoTech turbocharged and intercooled 3-cylinder engine producing 137 horsepower, 162 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission. The average gas mileage that it's rated for, it's about 30. And I got to tell you, I've been driving it for the last 25,000 miles. I get on the low end of it, but there are some people that definitely get more than that. So we have some heat shield right there in the back, some sound insulation, this ugly prop stick, and 0 to 60, about 8.8 seconds. We're going to definitely check that out at the end of this video. Before we get to the driving part, let's talk dimensions. The width is 71.8, height 61.4, the wheelbase at 106.3, and the total length of this vehicle 178.6. The curb weight just about 3,000 pounds. Let's take a closer look and see what's going on right here with the wheels and tires. We have 18-inch black alloy wheels, tires 225 by 55 on 18-inch rim. We have the disc brakes on all 4 wheels and some cladding around them, and that cladding continues all around the vehicle to protect the bottom of it from getting scratched. We have the shiny mirror caps, blind spot assist here. Everything around the windows is blacked out. This particular one has a package which includes the sunroof. Proximity entry system allows you to lock or unlock the vehicle with pushing of the button. As long as the key and remote is somewhere on you, you don't have to use the remote to do that. Now, you can use the remote to blink the lights so you see what they are, and these are looks like it still has the incandescent light bulb. No, there's LEDs, so just a reflector LEDs, but there's definitely an incandescent light bulb in the reverse light. We have the black Chevy bow tie, exposed wiper, third brake light right there. Trax on one side, Active on the other. That's the trim that we have. Bottom of the bumper is finished in this smoked chrome as well. Let's pop this gate open. Let's see how much room we have. I get closer to it. Let's get this open. So we have the reverse camera right there, and this is the handle to open it up. About 27 cubic feet of cargo room, which is not bad for the vehicle its size. As you can see, you can extend that by folding down at the rear seats. They're 60-40 split, and if you do that, you're going to have about 54 cubic feet of total storage in the back. Now, if you open this up, there is a compact spare tire right here and an extra cargo storage. That's what I use it for. Now, cargo cover, really important. Let's get inside. Let's see what else is going on. All right, me being 6 feet tall, I adjusted the front seat to my regular driving position, and Look at this. I can fit behind myself without touching the back of the seats. Now, there's not much room, but it is a subcompact crossover SUV. So there's plenty of room for the class of this vehicle. I have plenty of shoulder room. I even have about 2.5 inches above my head. Now, I don't know if 3 of me would fit in the back seat, at least not comfortably, but for 2 people and a child, definitely not bad. And if I had a beef with Chevy, that would be for using all this cheap material, not even giving the rear passenger the soft armrest here in the back seat. Now, of course, we have more storage here, window control, and the regular door handle moving inside of it. Here, you have a perfectly flat floor in the back. You also have the seats, what looks like leather, but this is the Evotex material, which is the man-made leather. Looking good. They're fairly comfortable, not bad. I'm not complaining about them. We have some contrast stitching. There is no console in the middle, and there's no cup holders anywhere in the front. So the only cup holders, well, not really, but this would be right here. So no cup holders in the back, but you do have the USB Type-C, USB Type-A, and a little cubby right here if you want to store something else in here. More storage is in the seat pocket on the passenger side only. And now let's take a look and see what's going on in the front. And here it is on the interior. You'll find some of the newer technology from Chevy, but let's take a look and see what's going on the front door panel. So it's slightly better because we have this hard plastic right here. We have the softer inlay and still a very hard armrest right here. Now, I would love to have a softer armrest. Come on, Chevy, you can do that. I have some shiny black trim. We also have the lights, window mirror lock controls, and more storage at the bottom. Now, as far as the pedal box, nothing too crazy about it, but here, the seat has the 8-way power adjustments and the 2-way lumbar support, but that's only on the driver's side. The passengers have to adjust their seats manually. They're slightly more bolstered, not really. We have the Active that's embroidered in the headrest. We have some contrast tubing, contrast stitching, perforation solid. Overall, looking pretty good. Let me jump inside and I'll show you the rest of this interior. Yeah, of course, we're going to start this interior tour with the door sound check. Okay, I'll give it about 5 out of 10, just right there in the middle. So what do we have on the interior? We have this highlighter yellow trim around the vents, kind of breaks it up a little bit. I feel like that kind of stuff. We also have the light setting, so set it on auto and forget it. 2 screens, we'll get back to them just a little bit. I want to show you the other side of this Trax because this nicely breaks down the interior of it. So again, we have this yellow trim, some shiny black, nicely textured trim up on top. Now this is still hard plastic, nothing soft about this. And this again right here is the same kind of like what you see on the doors. So hopefully it's not going to scratch up easily. And then we have this large glove box. Now looking at the steering wheel, it is the right size. It is thicker in the right spots for better grip. On the interior here, we have the contrast stitching. Well, it's not that much contrast, it's black on black, but we have leather wrapping. And as far as the buttons, we have the cruise control settings, adaptive cruise control, so you can adjust the gap between you and the car in front of you. We have the heated steering wheel, part of the driver's package, and on the right hand side we have voice control, phone control, and then essentially you can see what's going on in the instrument cluster. The volume buttons are right back there. And let's take a look at the instrument cluster. So 9-inch screen here. You can set up the different gauges, basically the different settings for it. So it's gauge 1, and then we can see gauge 2, depending on what you like. Press it again, hold it for a little bit. Gauge 3, like this. And then we have the vehicle info, and that's essentially, it's going to show you the coolant temperature right now. Now I'm going to show you a little bit more about this in the infotainment system, but let's get back. I'm going to set it to gauge 1. Basic information here: speed, we have the RPMs, of course, we have the fuel gauge, temperature gauge, 93 miles to empty, and then we have 11 miles on this vehicle. And that's pretty much it. That's what you have in the instrument cluster. And now let's go here to this infotainment system. Now this is the larger 11-inch screen that goes with everything LT and up. We have the regular knob and the volume knob over here. So this is the power button, volume knob, and then we have some options here. So as far as the audio, we have the Sirius XM, which of course you have to subscribe to. We have the FM and AM. Those are the options you have. You can of course connect your phone, whether it's an Android or Apple, through a wireless connection. Right here, the next is the traction control, ESC. You can turn it off, on, or both, or just traction control. Let's move on to this next screen. This is where more settings are for the vehicle, more information. So as far as maintenance, now you won't find the trip in the instrument cluster, which is interesting because that's normally what you look for, right? So trip 1, trip 2, 8.2 miles per gallon, which of course, that's because the vehicle was sitting most of the time and idling. Fuel economy, and then we go to different gauges. Now we have the battery voltage, coolant temperature, and you can show that in cluster. Now if you do that, it's going to show you right in the middle in the cluster, which is kind of annoying. So I'm going to remove it for cluster because I don't want to look at the battery voltage at the time of driving. And then here of course is maintenance. So engine, air, filter life, basically it's 100%. Obviously it's a brand new vehicle. And then the next thing is oil life and the tire pressure. So that's the basic information for the vehicle. You go back to this home screen. Now it's going to give you the climate control adjustments. You can do that here. You can adjust your fan speed. You can adjust the different vents that the air is coming out of. You can turn it off, turn it on, hit the air recirculating button, or you can do that with some of the manual buttons. Back to the home screen, and it's going to take you to settings where you can make some adjustments on the vehicle software, updates, etc. You can do different units, sounds, display, vehicle to phone sharing, privacy. Then you have the 3 different tabs: system, vehicle, and apps. Of course, in apps, you have the audio, phone, and OnStar. Vehicle, you have the teen driver. You can make certain restrictions. I'm not sure about this one, so I'm just guessing that it could be like the top speed or the speed limit on it, and maybe the audio control, so they won't crank it up beyond a certain limit. Now, let's go and take a look at this rear view camera. And here it is, decent rear view camera. Okay, it's nothing fancy, right? I mean, you have the trajectory lines, you have just one shot camera. There's no front camera, rear camera only, no side view cameras, etc. But decent view, that's what you need. Okay, we have some vents underneath here, and here are the manual knobs and buttons. So as you can see, you have the automatic climate control. You can set the temperature, set it on auto, and the vehicle is going to determine heat or cool. Now we have the heated seats on this one as well. And then the hazard button is on the side. Down here at the bottom, we have the USB Type A, USB Type C, 12-volt power outlet. And yes, you do have the wireless charging pad. Okay, you have the lane keep assist on the other side. You can turn on or off that automatic start-stop feature if you don't like it. Unfortunately, it comes back every time that you start the vehicle, so it is set on by default. Regular shifter, and if you want to do some manual shifting, okay, right here. Now of course these are the simulated gears here. Now we have the 2 cup holders, and you can also use this as a phone holder, although my big phone barely fits in here. Electronic parking brake, more storage here, a little bit more storage in the console. Let's move up. Let's see what else is going on. A tiny little mirror, but for a little car, that's not too bad. You can hit the OnStar button if you want to talk to somebody. Well, don't hit it just to talk to somebody, but if you have an emergency, they can help you out. And then, of course, you have the sunroof. Now, the sunroof is power, but the shade is manual adjustment. So I can open this up, slide or tilt, your choice. Get some air inside of this vehicle, and you do have the regular mirror. No illumination on that. This is the interior of this 2026 Chevy Trax. Let's talk about pricing, take it for a spin. And before we take it for a spin, let's talk about pricing. And we're going to start with this particular one. So this is one of the top of the line trims, 2026 Trax Active. All of them are going to have the same powertrain. All of them are going to be front-wheel drive. They're not available with all-wheel drive. So as far as the engine transmission, they're all going to be the same. The difference is what's inside. And this Trax Active starts at $25,300. We have two packages installed. One of them is a sunroof package that includes the sunroof power sliding glass with manual shade and wireless charging. That's part of that sunroof package. And then we have the driver's confidence package, which includes the rear cross traffic alert, a lane change alert with side blinds on alert, and adaptive cruise control and rear park assist. So the sunroof package is $895, the driver confidence package $795, destination charge is $1395, total MSRP on the one that I'm sitting in right now $28,385. But let's look at the Chevy websites and let's take a look and see what's the cheapest Trax that you can get, and that is the LS trim level. Now it's front wheel drive, of course, and that starts at $23,495. 1RS $24,995. We have the LT at $24,995 as well. Now LT and above, it's going to be the 11-inch diagonal HD screen. The LS is the only one that has the small screen and the screen in the middle. Then we have the 2RS, and that's what I drive for work, $27,195. Those prices include the destination, by the way, and the active, $27,195. So active or RS. The difference is slight. You know, different colors of the trims on the interior. They have some different front end design. If you're looking at the RS, I'm looking and see if they have one RS. Well, they're not as shiny gray, that have more black, not that. So the RS is going to have a slightly different front end design. You can check out my video. It's 2025. There's really no difference for 2026. Let's get this started and let's take it for a quick spin. Now I know very well how this vehicle drives, but I'm going to share these thoughts with you while driving. So overall, I think it's a great entry-level vehicle for someone that doesn't need a ton of space. Maybe somebody that lives in the city. It's really easy to park. It's 178 inches long. It is fairly good looking. Now I know it's subjective, but I think it looks pretty good comparing to some of the other vehicles on the market. And then, of course, I mean, there's tons of competition in the segment. We have the Mazda CX-30, we have the Honda HR-V, Corolla Cross, Nissan Kicks, and all of the manufacturers are putting their best foot forward designing these vehicles because they know once you start with, let's say, the Chevy Trax, there's a good possibility that you later on might upgrade to the Equinox and higher as your needs grow, maybe your family grows, and that changes too. So I think they've done a great job overall redesigning this Trax a couple years ago because it wasn't very pretty prior to that, in my opinion. Now the powertrain, and a lot of people are going to be like, hey, it's 1.2 liter, 3-cylinder. I tell you, I was there too. I was in the same situation when I got this. I actually got downgraded from the Equinox I used to drive before from the company, and I had some reservations about this 1.2 liter engine, but it turned out to be okay. Now, is it the greatest thing since sliced bread? No, but merges in traffic. Now, the one thing is, like, if you push the accelerator too much, you're going to have some front wheel spin. And I know based on some of the comments that I've received on my review of the RS trim, the one that I drive for work, I mean, a lot of people don't like that. It's like almost too jumpy. And yeah, you kind of have to get the feel for it. It's not the fastest vehicle out there. I mean, 8.8 seconds is the 0 to 60 time. So it's a high 8 seconds. But from the get-go, like if you push that accelerator, you're definitely going to get pushed in the seat. So that takes a little bit of getting used to. Front-wheel drive is the only option that's available. But really, you know, most of the small or the subcompact SUVs, as this one is, are only available with the front-wheel drive. Once you get up to the next level, maybe a compact SUV, then you start getting more choices. Gas mileage, you know, you have 28 and 32. That's the 28 in the city, 32 on the expressway. 30 is the combined number. I'm getting on the lower end of that. I'm getting anywhere between like 26, maybe to 29 miles to a gallon. Now, I might have a heavier foot, but I do a lot of mixed driving. I do a lot of like city driving. I also do quite a bit of highway driving. So, I mean, that should be a little bit higher than that. And there's no hybrid option available. This is the only powertrain that is available on the Trax. Not bad, but not the best either. So the pricing, starting at about, $23,000, definitely. What else can you get for $23,000? There used to be a lot more options. Right now, not so much. I would probably go for an LT or above. If you're looking maybe even like the RS, 1RS or 2RS or Active, these are really nice trims. But as you can see, you're pushing $28,000 with the packages that this particular one has. At 28, I mean, yeah, are there more choices? Yeah, but still not a lot. But overall, when you drive this vehicle, it has plenty of room. Now, I'm 6 feet tall. I'm not the smallest person out there. As you can see, I have this seat adjusted to my regular driving position. I can fit behind myself, so that's also important. Plenty of shoulder room. I don't feel cramped. Now, the one thing that I noticed that if I do drive a lot, this middle console kind of bothers me a little bit because I hit my knee on it quite a bit, but that's something, maybe that's just my driving position. And then, of course, I would love to have more plush armrest right here. This is not a huge deal, Chevy. Just give us that plush armrest. I mean, not such a big deal. And a couple other things, that hard plastic is really prone to being scratched. So that's another thing that I'm not really a big fan on, because yeah, I do have quite a bit of scratches on my Trax already. But if you're looking for something, again, that's not going to break your bank, I mean, there's not many options that are more luxurious. Yeah, if you want to spend about 10 grand more, there are plenty of nicer options, but 10 grand is 10 grand, right? And this at least does not have that cheap rental car feel as some of the competitors do. Now, we don't have the ability to do like a full acceleration. The car is not fully broken in. But I got to tell you, based on my experience for my car that I've driven for the last 25,000 miles, the acceleration is not horrible. I really never had an issue merging on the expressway, merging into traffic. I don't race anybody. I know where my limitations are with this vehicle. So, I mean, and that's really not what you're buying a subcompact SUV for, unless there might be some performance versions of some other ones, but that usually not in the non-luxury market. But so this is what it is. This is 2026 Chevy Trax, guys. Let me know what you think about this vehicle. Would you buy it? Maybe would you opt in for something else? And I hope this video is helpful. I hope you learned one or two things about this brand new vehicle. And if you did, don't forget to give me a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in my next video. Cheers.